It's hard to believe this is the last Sunday in Ordinary Time, and we celebrate the solemnity of Jesus Christ the King. This feast was actually established in 1925 by Pius IX. And in doing so, he wanted to do this in a true spirit of finishing off the end of October and going into All Saints and All Souls. And in the reform of the Second Vatican Council, in that reform, the liturgy was looked at, the calendar of the year was looked at, and the Council Fathers decided that this particular feast of Christ the King, would be placed at the end of the church year. And you notice the readings today, especially in this year A. We hear about the sheep and the goats in Ezekiel, and we hear in the gospel the parable of Jesus talking about the separation of the sheep and the goats. What seems to come forward is the fact that Jesus is the Good Shepherd, and he really and truly and profoundly watches over us. As that beautiful picture of Jesus carrying the lost sheep, many different types of renditions of that, he's carrying us. He too is carrying us. Particularly as we find ourselves and maybe carrying the cross of illness or the cross of just being confined to our homes. It's interesting that as this feast is being changed, or was changed with the Vatican Council, and that was over 40 years ago, that beginning next week we have the new Roman Missal that will start. Again, using the translation that's more of the literal translation of the words. And for all of us, it is going to be a challenge and not easy. But what it will do, it will make us focus our attention on the wonderful words of the Mass and the sacred text as we listen to it and as we pray with it. Because we'll begin from the beginning to have to think about what we're saying. And that is a good thing. That is a good thing. Now, are we going to feel comfortable? No. But maybe that's good. And I think it is. Because it makes us more aware of what we're saying. And that sometimes, as you experience and I experience in life, things are not always easy. And change takes place, especially as you have seen and I have seen as we grow older. But we embrace it because it's offering to us another way in which God is showing His presence and His love in our lives and in the life of our church. May this feast of Christ the King make us aware again of that abiding love of Jesus, most especially in the sacramental life of the church, most especially in the Eucharist. And may God's almighty power continue to be with us during the fall of the year, as we're going to be more confined to our homes and find ourselves feeling we'd like to do things that we can't do. Might be a good opportunity to look at the words of the new rite of the Roman Missal and try to make it more a part of your life, as I am going to try to do that as a part of mine. May God bless us, and may God be with us as we end the year and begin a new liturgical year next week.